Officially live with SOW Ignition episode 91. We are here in Providence, Rhode Island in the Elko Mutual Pavilion, and oh my, Aaron Payne and Hermes Rhapsodies tonight. So of course, Aaron's in the best mood we've seen him in quite some time, and all of that has to do with Hermes losing those belts. Of course, we saw that last week on Mission 90, so if you haven't got to see that glorious moment, make sure you check it out on YouTube. But of course, now we must shift our focus to the World Tag 500, where the Classics are taking on Shining tonight. And you know what? The thing about this Spring World Tag 500 we were talking about before we went off the air, for a lot of these teams already, we are officially in must-win territory.
Yeah, this is a very, very difficult situation. I mean, having any team that is already 2-0 and there's only 4 rounds in the whole tournament, you're basically at a horrendous disadvantage unless they lose a match. Because at this stage, everybody else in the tournament at best can go 3-1, except for the bangers, Charlie and Nephthys, who are still 4-0 capable. If they get that, that's a solidified shoo-in for the finals. In fact, a win tonight over the Rising Stars takes down one of the only teams that can actually challenge them in points and effectively makes them a shoo-in anyways. Which means that there's only one spot left. This is not a semifinals to finals situation like it was for the men's World Tag 500 because we just don't have enough teams to justify that kind of a finish. So there's only 2 teams from the Swiss rounds that will get into the finals. If you're not of the top 2, you're gonna have to wait your turn for a title shot if you want those tag belts.
Yeah, this is essentially a potential eliminator match for both these teams, because going 1 and 2 at this point means you need a miracle. The only team I believe who is outright in danger of pure elimination, mathematically in every way, shape, or form, is the Shogunate.
The Shogunate currently 0 and 2. If they lose tonight, no matter what else happens tonight, they are completely out. There are other scenarios where some other teams currently in this tournament could also be put out. But those scenarios rely on multiple match finishes, not just their own. For the Shogunate, it's win or die.
And for everyone else but the bangers, it's win to potentially stay in it. Otherwise, you have to almost accept that you're likely not going to Spring Carnival.
It's a very, very prestigious spot to be in. The winner, the World Tag 500 Finals. We've had, at this point, we had the original one in 2024, back in July of 2024. We had the second one in November. Then we had 2 more in 2025, the spring and the autumn. This is the 5th World Tag 500. Only 4 teams, because there's only been 4 tournaments, have ever won the entire thing. And in fact, I shouldn't even say 4, only 3 teams. Our 2nd and 4th World Tag 500 winners were the same team, the Destined Saviors, having claimed that crown twice.
The only team to do so.
Yep. A win in this World Tag 500 puts you up there with the names the Dark Crusade, the Destined Saviors, and the Death Row. I mean, whether we like them or not, they were and still are, a very strong tag team. Though, a bit of interesting situation seeing Trent Taylor on Overclock wrestling SOW.
That was a banger match against Aaron. I mean, we could talk a lot about what happened on Overclock this last week. I mean, I think one of the biggest upsets of the entire tournament took place with Rising Stars beating Shining, particularly with Nishi pinning Aiko.
And Cosby and Nishi able to get the stellar Polaris at the end. Aiko having been unable the entire match to land the glowing finale It was, you gotta just call it out like it is. It was a masterful performance by Cosmo Nature. She scouted and outmatched Aiko at almost every turn, keeping Aiko's strongest weapon at bay. And as much as Bia tried to fight back when she was in the ring, there's only so much you can do when your tag partner is that well disabled by the opponent's strategy.
It was kind of an interesting flip of the script for a lot of the Shining tag matches so far we've seen. Is a lot of it has been Bia struggling and Bia unable to really get her momentum going in a match. And Nishi flipped that script on its head, neutralizing Aiko instead, possibly showing how easy you can overcome Shining. If you can neutralize Aiko, Bia still adapting to tag team wrestling as a whole, the team looks very beatable.
Yeah, I would also say that it's just one thing you have to keep in mind is, as good as Aiko is as a singles wrestler, as good as Bia is as a singles wrestler, as near unbeatable as the both of them are, when you have a partner and you can sufficiently isolate one of them, they can't fight two people.
Nope.
I don't think there's a person in this company who could take on 2-on-1 and come out the victor. We have some people who can definitely beat two guys in one night, but that's in two separate one-on-one battles.
The random handshake in the middle of the match.
Show respect.
A little code of honor.
Kevin Stone's always been about respect. Not hustle or loyalty, though.
It's one of the three.
It's just the respect. The honor.
We'll say the Classics really impressed on Overclock as well, surviving a particular brutal onslaught from the Shogunate at the end of that one to kind of steal the win in a way.
It was a very impressive performance by Cameron Stone at the end of that match. The survivability of her and Kat Roberts has been improving as of late. In fact, of all the tag teams that have formed in line with this World Tag 500, they've slowly crawled up to be one of the most impressive. Their synergy, I mean, they even synergize their entrances. They do the fist pump into the air at the same time.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh! There's a lot of what we kind of saw in Overclock, a counter from a back grapple. And Aiko, you know, the thing about it is Aiko is not going to let everyone on the roster just counter her back grapples forever. So,
no, Aiko,
be careful when she finds a new dangerous way to get into them.
Aiko is the type of wrestler that adjusts and adapts. One loss is not going to be the same loss she's going to have again. As soon as you found a way to beat her, she will be spending her time looking for ways to survive whatever you did to take her out.
And I'm sure it was also a proud teacher moment for Aiko as well. Well documented that she's, of course, been training with Nishi and Kimiko for so long now that having her beat her on a stage like Overclock probably was as frustrating as it was to take the loss. Oh my God! It had to also be a moment of pride as well that, okay, like, she's getting there.
Yeah, I can totally agree with that. Now, tag to Bia. I think as it currently stands, the obvious favorite in the tournament in terms of betting odds are the Bangers to make it the finals. As for the second team, I mean, it's pretty hard to deny how good Aiko and Bia are as singles wrestlers. That said, their tag team has not been unmarred, even getting into this tournament. They were essentially a last-minute, last-chance entry into the tournament, coming in at the bottom of the registry.
Yeah, it's not been just, you know, the established tag teams laying down for two former world champions teaming up. They are having to figure this out on the fly, which will just make it all the more impressive if they make it to the finals. Well, I think if you look at this from a objective standpoint, which, believe it or not, with Bia, sometimes I am able, it would almost be a damning statement to the tag team division if these two team up last second, sneak into the World Tag 500 and become the first tag team champions.
It would be, I'm sure the other teams in the tournament have been working together for, at minimum, a few months now, starting back in, what was it, November of 2025? It's been almost 6 full months that these other teams have been working together. Oh, nice counter there from Bia, but immediately the slack picked up by Cameron Stone, just showing you how well in tune the classics really are. But yeah, as I was saying, it's it would be a blow to their confidence if, as some would say, a thrown together tag team claimed the goal.
You also have to, like, from the other side of it is, could anyone be surprised? The first 2 world champions in SOW history team up for the first time and win tag titles. That also isn't surprising. But, you know, Bia's never worked well in a group. The facts are what they are on paper. But I do think that long term, whether the results of this tournament go their way or not, whoever becomes the inaugural champions, Shining will be not far away looking for a tag title opportunity.
Oh, I can agree with that. Sleeper hold now applied by Cameron Stone. Working at Bia quite well here. Bia fighting back about as well as she can, but I mean, Cameron Stone has been a tank in these tag matches so far. Oh!
Now look at this. Oh my God.
Combination, attempted to follow it up with another, but Bia able to fight them off. And now she's working at Cameron or Kat, but I'm not sure if she knew it wasn't a tag there. It almost like she thought that there was, because of the confusion between the attack and the immediate follow-up, she might have believed that there was a successful tag for a moment at least.
It's not Aiko's back in the ring, and this has been their formula for success in the past. And I'm not sure why Bia's wasting a cut play here. This is one of those, you know, still getting used to being in a tag team things we were kind of just talking about, is that's an odd use of a cut play there that could come back to haunt them. And like we said at the beginning of this match, mistakes like that you cannot make. This is essentially, and she does it again, twice in one match. As I'm still trying to explain why it's bad, this is an elimination potential scenario for Shining, and now they've wasted not one, but 2 cut plays.
You gotta keep in mind that with Aiko, you never know what the opponent will lose to. I mean, we know her go-to glowing finale suplex, but Bia perhaps was thinking of trying to protect those submission holds. And it seems that Kat simply had no concern over those submission holds.
Right now, this match is kind of turning into all the classics. Aiko's trying to fight back, get some momentum for Shining. Oh, wait a minute! And there it is! Right there! And it looks like,
I think Cameron got the breakup there just barely. Oh, Pitchmaker!
Oh, Pitchmaker! Wow!
Cameron distracting Aiko. I don't think Aiko saw it. I think Aiko was unaware that the Bitchmaker got hit there. Otherwise, she might have just gone right in for the pin.
Yeah, I definitely think she completely missed it. Otherwise, a Bitchmaker followed by a glowing suplex is probably going to win you 99% of your matches. But unfortunately, Aiko misreading the situation.
There's a knee drop. I think Bia cut play is out at the moment, at least. Now the Classics are able to double team on Aiko here. Aiko, of course, is no stranger to taking punishment. Slips behind with the back elbow. And now it's shot block. Kat sends Aiko to the corner. And is looking to set her up top. What's she thinking here? Oh, a
my God!
suplex from the top!
But Aiko's up first, even though she is dazed.
That hits us arm-wrenched suplex. Follows Aiko to the outside. And wait a minute! DDT on the outside! And no way, she's calling for it again!
Oh my God!
Another DDT
God!
on the outside! She's saying it's over! Double arm hook! DDT again! Drops her back down! 3 DDTs, including a double arm to count! Is that 8? Can Aiko answer it? Oh my God! Oh my God!
Oh my God!
3 DDTs on the outside. Kat Roberts seals this match for the Classics. Aiko couldn't move after those. I have no words.
Well, I will find a way to say some here real quick, is that thankfully, if anyone was wondering, Aiko was able to get to her feet. Bia helped her to the back, but looks like Bia Quinn was shooting some pretty nasty looks back at the Classics there. I'm not sure if there's now going to be some bad blood, but what a shocker, guys. I mean, Shining, Bia Quinn, Kimura, Aiko are not mathematically eliminated, but they've got a less than 1% chance to make it to Spring Carnival, and now we somehow have to take that information and hear from the Empire.
This part is dead air.
And their theme didn't play.
Yeah, I'll be fixing that in post. That's fine. I guess I forgot to cut after the end of the so we're gonna have to watch the end of it. All right, so I've never seen Aiko taken out before. I've seen her beat down. I've even seen her lose a match every now and then. I have never seen her unable to answer a 10 count. And that's not just an SOW. In her entire career, I've never seen her fail to answer the ring out count. Kat Roberts.
I think you saw Bia looked at about as much disbelief as we were in on commentary. She couldn't believe she didn't get up at 8.
I think Kat Roberts just handed Aiko her first ever count out loss. And it was at the hands of that absolutely devastating DDT. However, we do have to refocus here because it seems like Caster is, I mean, he's recognizing at the very least some of the culpability he has in the failure, I should say, of the Empire to advance to be the top group here in SOW.
And they tried to seize power right away in January to start the season. Did not go their way. Then they got into a major battle with Disruption where they barely walked away from that with any momentum. They were able to steal a few big key victories away from Disruption at the end, but they got caught by Disruption's crazy run they had here in the late winter, early spring. And now it looks like he's saying, okay, we're done with them, but something new is coming.
Yeah, it seems he's now confident in the Empire's ability to rise up. I will say one thing that's probably pushing that confidence higher is seeing Alexei thrive as the television champion.
Yeah, he's on a crazy run right now. A run that I don't think, I mean, maybe you saw it coming from him, but I certainly didn't.
I honestly, no. I had no clue that was coming. He bulked up. He improves. Those H-bombs feel like they're 10 times more devastating than they ever were before. Oh. Talking about how the Paradise is falling apart. I mean,
5 minutes gone.
that's not an incorrect statement. They have lost quite a few of the titles they held. At this point, they've only got 2 belts.
But they are the 2 world titles that they still have.
That's true. I mean, Hikari joining the Paradise gave them the 2nd world title. They lost the national title and the junior WWSL junior title, as well as the tag titles, though the tag titles were lost some time ago. They even used to have the former Ignition Championship, which Death Panther was unable to, quote-unquote, reclaim the television championship. As it stands, they don't even have the women's national title, which was taken away from Lilith by Nephthys. Is he insinuating what I think he's insinuating?
That kind of sounds like it.
For those at home who aren't understanding, I believe that Damian Oxley right now is trying to say that Tony Lee, similarly to former stablemate Aaliyah Pope, is partnered with the House of Troubles.
And now Damian Oxley is declaring war, I'm assuming, on the house. So that's the Empire's new target?
Well, if we weren't sure he's calling out Dallas Taylor now, that pretty much solidifies the question. And if Tony
that
Lee,
match is official.
Yeah, no, it's coming up. We're being told that will be happening later tonight. Tony, I guess Damian believes, is under the impression at the very least, that Tony and the house are in cahoots. In fact, it sounds like he thinks that they're potentially all stablemates.
And they're willing to tear down the house to give Damian a shot at the national championship.
The title Damian has tried twice to win, and twice he's failed.
10 minutes gone.
They always say, though, 3rd time's the charm. Okay, well, with that officialized, obviously, Tony Lee's opponent coming up at Spring Carnival is going to be El Rey de Guerra, who earned that title shot by defeating Tony Lee in an eliminator last week. So Damian Oxley, even if Tony Lee is willing to grant him the title shot, is going to have to wait at least until after Spring Carnival. And, I mean, as it currently stands, it sounds like Damian's just assuming that Tony will retain. Not an assumption I would personally be making. I mean, El Rey de Guerra is literally a former national champion, having defeated
just beat him.
Castro. And did just beat him, yes. But right now, the Women's World Tag 500, the Spring World Tag 500 continues as the Shogunate makes their way to the ring.
And well, you know, we talked about it earlier tonight in the opening match, but the Shogunate are walking into this match 0-2. They're technically in that less than 1% chance that Shining now finds themselves in. While if they lose this match here outright, the first team to be mathematically eliminated will be the Shogunate.
And the results of the next match, or not the next match, but the 3rd match in this World Tag 500 tonight could eliminate Shining as well at this point. Should the Bangers make it and become 3-0, Shining will have basically no shot at outbeating either of the current 2 top teams, which are the Bangers and the Classics.
Yeah, basically, you know, if you end tonight with 2 losses, you're pretty much on the outside looking in.
Oh, it's almost guaranteed. Your only shot back would be if your final match is against the Classics.
Yeah, and you have to win it. And you saw they just did the Kimura Aiko, the greatest women's world champion this company has seen just got laid out for a 10 count.
Yeah, that was absolutely insane.
I think we'll be talking about that for possibly months to come, depending on how the Classics continue their trajectory. But big match here for both these teams. Again, kind of in that similar situation. It's win or go home, quite literally for the Shogunate, but the Corpse Gals in the same sense.
Yeah, the Corpse Gals need a win here. They, at current, if we go to the match history, the Corpse Gals have faced a loss to fellow stablemates in the Bangers, but a win over the Rising Stars. They have yet to face the Classics, so a win here could put them potentially in a position to, if their final matchup, their last round is against the Classics, sneak in and create a potential Bangers versus Bangers final.
The worst case scenario for everyone except for people who, for some reason, like that stable.
But right now, the Shogunate looking to play spoiler to that and get themselves on the board at least. They're still going to be in a rough position where they basically have to face the Classics in their final match. Except they can't, given they've already lost to them. So at this point, I think the Shogunate actually are out.
They're just out. Yeah, this match, yeah, you're right. They're only able to play spoiler here for the Corpse Gals.
Yeah, because they've also already lost to the Bangers. Or wait, no, they haven't faced the Bangers yet. So technically speaking, if they win here and the Bangers lose at their match tonight, and the final match is the Shogunate versus the Bangers, the Shogunate can then maybe pull out a final placement. But that's relying on a lot. We're relying on the Bangers to lose, you to win here tonight, and then you to draw the Bangers as your final Swiss round match and win. The opportunity, as you said, is like less than 1%.
Yeah, it's one of those like where you see people doing the playoff scenarios for their football teams in January, where it's like, all right, so we're 8-8, and if we win this game and 8 other teams lose or draw theirs, we have a 5% chance of making it. That's where the Shogunate find themselves.
Which is unfortunate because they had a very strong start and a heavy rivalry with the Classics that was pretty back and forth in 2025, but it hasn't translated to 2026 success. At least not a heaping amount of it. The record isn't terrible. It's just not where you would want to be.
But again, we could be seeing the Classics kind of starting their best run as a team so far in this company. If you consider their match against the Shogunate on Overclock, if you consider what we saw earlier tonight, I mean, it's almost like, is losing to the Classics like this big negative thing anymore? I'm not sure if I can say that.
Oh, the Classics, in my opinion at least, have probably become the most well-oiled team in the women's tag division, next to the Rising Stars. Of course, I'm not including the Corpse Gals when I talk about that because they were already a tag team. They're not like a rising team, they're an existing team. They're the only team in the entire company who were a tag team before they came here. And wildly, one thing to always consider when they're in a match against Keiko is a former stablemate of Adashko and Hayun. All three of them formed the stable known as the Undead Dolls. Of course, even Ayama at some point had joined that stable prior to Hayun and Adashko coming here to SOW. However, she was not there for nearly as long as Keiko was.
You know, Keiko's looking to have a big moment, a comeback moment for her here after the performance on Overclock, where, you know, in most situations, she does enough to win the match, but they came out looking up at the lights instead.
Yeah, it was an incredible effort by Keiko. Those knee strikes straight to the chin. Normally, somebody would be down for the 3 count after 2 of them. However, Cameron Stone was just too resilient. There's the lift up, drop down, super kick. We're 10 minutes in. These are 30-minute time limits. Cut play is now open. Oh, and the sandwich from the Corpse Gals.
Look at me. Dashko gets caught.
Was trying to continue the offense, but got caught and then responded. Rana attempts from Keiko, got dropped heavy with a power bomb from Dashko.
Fights off the double team, gets drop kicked clean in the chin.
Ayama with the shoulder hold choke. Ayama wrestles that shoot style. Heavy strikes, heavy on the submission, and only a few impact moves in the repertoire. As Dashko tries to fight her with these kicks to the legs, but can't power through all of those slaps right across the jaw. Oh! Wheel kick! But Dashko countering with an arm wrench directly into a Northern Light suplex. Solid bridge. Gave her some room to breathe. But Ayama isn't letting her continue to breathe. Right back to these strikes and a calf kick. Straight to the chin. Oh, solid reversal.
She needed that, but she definitely asked, I think, look for a tag here. I'm not sure if I'm... Oh my god! That's a crazy way to get out of the pin. Just punch your opponent in the kidney.
Yeah, the kidney shot. Oh, flips over into a suplex, but Ayama completely shrugs it off, right back on her feet. Catches Dashko with a butterfly suplex. One of Dashko's finishing moves is the butterfly suplex. She calls it the neon butterfly. Well, she's not very neon anymore.
Dashko looked like she was thinking about going for a pin there before getting caught. Now she's going back on the offensive. Pile driver!
Goes for the cover. That's going to get the first cut play of the match. Immediately into a half crab. Hayun breaks it up. And Ayama was looking to follow up with a half crab of her own, but got countered by Dashko. Rolling elbow. Dashko has not been able to get out of this match. And now she's getting caught with a back drop by Ayama. Pulls her away from the ropes. She's not done yet. Rolling elbow to the back of the head, goes in for the cover. Doe this time making the cut play. Dashko with a senton goes straight for a cover while the other two are distracted. Only a 2. And finally, oh wait.
Oh no.
There we go.
Oh, there she gets it. Okay. She needed that tag something fierce.
There's that neon butterfly suplex. And on the flip side, Hayun taking out Keiko as well, who's now the legal woman for the Shogunate, and gets suplexed into the turnbuckle. Ouch! Arm wringer. And a backbreaker in return. And Hayun is not done. Peach Thunder! Into the cover. Ayama makes the breakup.
And that's likely the last cut play for each side there.
That's either 3 or 4. I was not keeping count. I will be completely honest with you. But it looks like Hayun has the Peach Bomb. Cut. Moonsault there is definitely the final cut play.
It's definitely 4, yeah.
Now any further cut play will come entirely, oh my god, entirely from fighting spirit as the ref.
Look at this.
Hold is broken. Now tag made. Keiko, the legal woman again. Gunman Giddy! Picks Doe up, but Doe tries to counter with a headlock, gets sent to the ropes. Tilt a whirl backbreaker. Double knee drop right to the leg. And
My
then
God, what a
strike
knee strike.
right to the temple.
With some body shots as well afterwards, but Doe's up first.
Keiko also wearing herself out of this offense. Series of Steiners. And a gunman Giri, but Doe catches her in the headlock. Here's the Dashko. Expected there to be another cut play on the other side. Instead, she's getting caught. Face planted. Now Doe sending Keiko into the corner. And instead of following up, she tags Dashko. But Keiko unable to respond. Double team move attempted. Gets sent to the other corner now. Double team move attempted again this time. They catch her. Oh my God. No way.
No way.
There's no way.
What's
up? It's looking like the Corpse Gals can pull it through here. Same time, there's no cut play. Only a 2. Wait a minute.
Oh,
Katana! Into the half crab. Was she tapped? No!
wow. Credit to Dashko there.
Catches her with the crucifix bomb. 1, 2. No!
No.
Wait a minute! Neon! Oh my
Oh,
God!
the ropes.
I was gonna say, it's the iconic, the butterfly jackhammer. I thought it was the neon butterfly for a moment until she transitioned it into the iconic, but it wasn't enough because of the ropes. And Dashko unable to seal the win there. Oh, but the Meteora! Can this get it? Yes!
He did it.
Shogunate are 0-3, but the Corpse Gals showing that teamwork. They're in a situation where if their final opponents are the Classics, or if the Classics lose and they win. Okay, it's time. Damian Oxley called for this match earlier tonight. And now he's gonna get it. Dallas Taylor versus Damian Oxley, the start of what Damian Oxley called a war.
Especially if Tony Lee doesn't want to give him a shot at the national championship. And this is, by the way, we have no hard confirmation still that Tony Lee is in the house. This is all hearsay via Damian Oxley.
Yeah, as far as we know, this could literally be birthdays. Tony and the house could have no interaction at all.
Yeah, but the house is never going to get called out for a match and hide from it. So not surprising that they accepted this match. A rare moment where a match is made, a challenge is made on Ignition, accepted, and happens in the same night. Hera typically stays away from that, but there was an open spot on the card, and of course our main event a little later tonight. Finally, Aaron Payne getting his hands on Hermes Rhapsody. He's excited. I'm excited. Everyone in Providence is excited. Oh man, what a show this has been coming off that incredible supercard last week with Formula.
Absolutely, and we have just more to come. Of course, the final Swiss round of the World Tag 500 will be next week. We will find out who the 2 finalists will be. We'll also get a look at the Women's Tag Team Championships for the first time next week, ahead of the first champions being decided. And on top of that, we've got some very interesting things happening on High Gear next week. We've got a SOW debut, Legend of Heart. James Hartland and Avery Edwards have been teaming up in JPW for a little while now as Legend of Heart. And this will be the first time that them as a team will show their faces here in SOW. We also have, they will be facing, again, of course, against Moment for Life. So Dallas Taylor will be having to wrestle immediately this Saturday, right after this match, win or lose. But then there's Aaliyah Pope, another member of the house, who will be taking on La Sombra Altissima. And Disruption will be facing Fate Unbound, who had an unfortunate loss to the team of Hermes and Death Panther last week, or last Saturday.
I don't know if I like Hermes and Death Panther teaming up. Just throwing that out there.
It's very interesting, given we saw just a little bit ago on Overtake, Trent Taylor kind of returned to the singles division. Meanwhile, Hermes and Death Panther are in a, rather than a trios tag team or anything of that variety, which is where they've been almost exclusively up to this point, they're just a two-man team. Makes you wonder if the Paradise is trying to switch things up as Death Row was unsuccessful in reclaiming the tag titles. But regardless, right now, Damian Oxley fighting Dallas Taylor. Now, one thing to keep in mind, Dallas Taylor, one of the members of House of Troubles, however, not much of a singles wrestler. He's almost exclusively been on the tag side of things within the house. Right now, if you looked at singles wrestlers who are for sure in the house, who are at the top of their game, ZC Woods is undefeated so far this season. Now, am I expecting an ICO level run? But 6-0 in the season already. That's pretty impressive.
5 minutes gone.
I mean, it definitely is, and probably a big reason why Damian Oxley didn't call ZC Woods out for a match tonight.
Yeah, I imagine that that's the one I'm honestly looking to avoid. Bray Windham, technically also undefeated with one win and no losses or draws, because he's wrestled one match and won it. But that's it's not quite as impressive as the record of the Troubled Child.
With a record like that, it's actually kind of surprising he's not making more waves in the world title scene.
Well, ZC Woods, I think, is still in the national title scene at the moment, but with his record, he is actually at the point where his next match, if it's a win, puts him directly into the world title scene. And if I look at the current rankings, actually puts him at the top of that division. He's in a
Look at these. Oxley, good lord.
oh god.
How did that not get referee involved there? He's kind of let that one go.
I mean, I guess technically those elbow strikes aren't illegal, so the ref could only break it up to save the opponent and stop the match. And if the ref doesn't feel he needs to stop it, there's the blackout, but can't continue because Dallas Taylor gets back to his feet. One thing to note here, Dallas Taylor not in his alter persona.
No, so maybe they're not taking the challenge of and the declaration of war from Damian Oxley very seriously, but I imagine he doesn't say that without permission from Caster, because Caster gave him the floor to speak in the first place.
Yeah, no, Caster handed the mic over and gave Damian the space to make this declaration. So I imagine this declaration was actually, at least in part, Caster's idea as well. Of course, the Empire wants to be the most dominant faction in SOW. You don't get there without beating other factions. And if your first target is the house, I mean, I'm sure Caster believes they've already defeated Reyes de la Lucha in the past, so there's no need to go after them. That's just what I imagine Caster would do. And then there is, moonsault! There is, of course, Disruption, who, if I was caster, I would consider that unfinished business. But it seems he's more interested in going after a new target. Somebody that they have not actually faced off against all that much in the House of Troubles. In fact, the House really has been almost exclusively focused on Death Row and the Paradise ever since the start of Season 2. They won those tag titles and spent the next few months trying to warn us of what was coming.
Fortunately, they did it in the most cryptic way possible, so not a single person outside the House of Troubles knew what the hell they were talking about.
And I think they were trying to avoid forewarning the Paradise directly. But it was too little too late once it became clear who they were speaking about. Dallas Taylor giving it his all here against Oxley. High knee. Coming off the ropes. Kitchen sink. Goes behind. Schoolboy. Only a 2. Oxley struggling a little more than I think he expected to.
Oh, look at this. A show of power from Damian Oxley.
Standing moonsault.
Whoa. And Dallas rolls to the outside there.
They're not wanting to let Damian follow up on that at all. But it, oh my God, the crack shot!
Oh, look at this!
Black out! And Dallas not able to get to his feet! System shock! Into the cover! 1, 2, got it!
Well, if this was a declaration of war, then round 1 officially goes to the Empire. We'll have to see if Tony Lee will eventually respond to these claims.
All right, and it's our last World Tag 500 match of the night. The Bangers, Charlie, Scene, and Nephthys are taking on the Rising Stars, who, at the moment, are fresh off a big win. Of course, the Bangers are fresh off of a similar win over the Corpse now, so both these teams coming in here with momentum, but only one of them coming in with momentum of having pinned Aiko Kimura.
Of course, for the Bangers, we documented it during both of the matches tonight, but if they win this match and go 3-0, it's very important to note that will eliminate Shining. Do you know how much that would make Charlie Scene happy?
Oh, Charlie Scene would be singing and dancing on the roof tonight if she could be the reason that Aiko and Dia are not back. Especially since it would also very much damage the Rising Stars here, the other part of Shining. They would be in a very, very rough situation where they essentially would need to force a triple tie in order to have a shot at the finals.
Well, if the Bangers win, it's undeniable they are going to Spring Carnival. So, I mean, but again, they possibly just pinned Aiko. Like, that is insane momentum. One thing that these teams are 3 times on the outside and make her pass out, basically. But Kazumi did it the hard way. She pinned her clean, shoulders on the mat for a 3 count. But these two women have just so much history.
Yeah, Charlie and Kazumi, one of SOW's biggest rivalries, which many have said is still unsettled. There's still not a clear better between the two of them because they keep doing impressive things one after another.
Yep, and now this rivalry enters a new chapter here in the tag team division, which only felt inevitable, I suppose.
One thing to keep in mind, though, Kazumi, no matter how many times Charlie beats her, Kazumi has done something Charlie has never done. And she's done it 2 separate times, which is pin Aiko.
A little master lock there, it looked like.
Yeah, a bit of a full Nelson. Of course, Charlie has beaten Bia, which is something Kazumi has never done.
It's kind of funny how that works out, isn't it?
Yeah, they both managed to defeat their mentors, but the other person has been unsuccessful in doing the same. Kimiko, the legal woman, for shining. Charlie remaining the legal woman for the Bangers. And now she tags out to Nephthys. Now, one thing to note about this tag team between Charlie and Nephthys that I think it's very important to keep this in mind. Nephthys has been the clincher for almost every single one of the Bangers matches. At least right now, I cannot remember a single tag match between Charlie and Nephthys that ended with Charlie scoring the pinfall.
There's another important note about Charlie and Nephthys that kind of is the antithesis of what we talked about with Dia and Aiko, is this is a new team. They have yet to lose.
Yeah,
They are not known for being tag team wrestlers. They've had single success. The current national champion, the former national champion, and yet as a team, they are perfect. They have yet to taste defeat since teaming up. That is unheard of in this sport.
I'll say this for Nephthys. In Glory, she did do tag wrestling quite a lot. However, there's no real explanation for Charlie because this is her first wrestling. Outside of a couple of stints in some indies back in the UK, where she really didn't wrestle a whole lot. She was still mentoring under Bia Quinn at the time. So, for Charlie to be this well established in a tag team already, I mean, it's pretty impressive. Like, whether you like her or not, her evolution as a wrestler has been impressive. She's gone through multiple different looks, ending on the current look we see right now, which has been her look for a good while at this point. And it's the look under which she's had the most success. She's called herself the genuine article, and whether you like her or not, as I said, she's been proving it.
Like you said, though, on the flip side of it, Nephthys has kind of been the one with the clutch gene here in these big tag team matches, securing the victories for the team.
It's been notable that Nephthys has been almost exclusively, even if she isn't the one actually pinning, it's almost always her who leads into the pinning combination. I think Charlie, I mean, again, I'm just going off of memory. I don't have data sheets for this, but I believe Charlie has only scored the pinfall in 1 or 2 of their matches with the team at most. Of course, one of those times that I can think of for sure was Charlie stealing the bitchmaker and pinning. Probably, it's the only one I know off the top of my head. Charlie currently tagged back in, working over Kimiko, who has not had a good opportunity to tag out, but finally gets one here. Cosme back to being the legal woman.
10 minutes gone.
Working the arm of Cosme here. It's not really a main weapon for Mishi. However, it is a target that Charlie likes to select for her submissions.
Lots of boos, of course, raining down upon the Bangers. They are one of the most jeered teams in the division.
Oh yeah, nobody really likes them. I mean, that's unshocking given how Charlie has just become almost a worse version of what Bia was in year one. The only exception, the only difference is that Charlie, from what she's done so far, has yet to hide behind it. But that doesn't really change the fact that she's kind of a shit.
Yeah.
She is dominating over Cosme. The moment Cosme finally starting to fight back, Jesus Christ.
She needs to in a big way.
Sending Charlie to the outside. She's looking to fly. Comes up the top rope with a springboard missile drop kick. Charlie tries to grab a kendo stick, but Cosme kicks her square in the chin with a drop kick. Both women now back in the ring. No weapons in the ring, thankfully.
And no second kind of ending match tonight.
Yeah, that would be.
Well, I guess the best thing that could happen for some of these teams would be a tie here, no?
Oh, a tie? Yeah, that would be pretty good for a lot of teams. Oh, Shining! Lined up!
Oh!
Polaris and the super kick to the back of the head. And Kiriko! Oh my god, what an overhead belly to belly. And now Nephthys like, all right, bitch, sets up a light tube in the Shining's corner. That could come into play later. But right now, he's just piling on the offense, setting up for the Immortal. Doesn't hold it long as Kimiko manages to slip free, but gets caught. The Hurricane Rana slips free of that as well. Thrown into the corner and countered. Oh my god, Kimiko fighting back hard here. The Meteora. It's the rope break. Both sides use a cut play. And there's the code breaker.
Oh!
Cosme follows up with a springboard moonsault, and Kimiko goes for the cover with a rope break again. Charlie gets faked out a little bit. Cosme now one cut plate up on Shining's side.
We've seen that matter multiple times throughout the 2.5-year history of the World Tag 500. Those cut plays, they are so important in every tag match. But it always feels they're a little more important in the World Tag 500.
Absolutely, cut play getting used here, but Charlie able to cut Cosme off. However, not for long. Kimiko kicks out, hits another code breaker. Pulls her away from the corner. Oh, she's going for a tag here.
Interesting.
I think she realized they still have a cut play. She'd rather get things over towards their corner than try to just waste that last cut play right away. Especially if it risks her taking damage in the long corner.
Yeah, Nephthys able to ruin that tag team attempt there. And now it's kind of taking the momentum back again. Though Cosme is the one who gets up first.
Well, that springboard satellite DDT wasn't enough. Nephthys tags out. Cosme with the Northern Lights and Nephthys looking to set up Charlie, I think. But Charlie hits that double arm buster.
Oh,
Fake out on the Snapdragon into a Snapmare instead. Polaris
20 minutes gone.
goes for the cover. Cut play attempt by Nephthys, and she gets there just a little faster than Kimiko.
but I do believe without referee granting them an extra, that is the last, fourth and final cut play for the Bangers.
Yeah, and the Shining should have one more. Oh, and a reversal. The flight tube comes into play as Charlie drops Cosme right onto it. Goes up top. Massive leg drop across the chest and throat area of Cosme. And Charlie's not done with her yet. But Cosme with a reversal.
Here we go again, these two.
Back and forth. Kick to the leg. Look, Charlie gets up. Face her out with a punch. DDT.
Big boost from this Providence crowd, too.
Goes for the cover. That's the wrong corner. Kimiko breaks it up just barely.
But that's evened up the
Polaris!
team now, dude. Oh my!
Pulls
There's
her
no
away
cut play
from
left, and it
Rose.
might not matter.
Tried to go for the Northern Light. Couldn't get it as Charlie catches her in the front headlock. Big drop kick. Cutting Charlie off from her tag partner. Charlie trying to get away. Northern Light suplex landed. But not yet the
Holy
three. High knee strike. Goes for the cover again. Trying to end this. Trying to seal it. Oh, but Charlie's still alive. Oh, the hammer lock. DDT.
But she can't capitalize on it. Both these women are tired, but they get up at the same time.
And
Prevents the tag again.
Charlie. Cosme trying to stop Charlie from getting the tag, but Charlie knocks her down. Double team strike. Meteora. Not yet.
Oh,
three.
it's not done. Cosme's not done yet.
Cosme's trying to fight Charlie, but
Oh, no!
denial.
It's
Goes
not
for
just
the
gonna
cover.
do it again.
No, not
He
yet.
doesn't. Not yet. Wow.
Steiner.
That was the perfect setup you alluded to earlier, that Nephthys keeps setting up the kills, but it wasn't enough for Cosme yet tonight.
Super kick. Cosme's days. Tame denial. No. Cosme tries to get to her feet. She can't. The cover is made. There's no cut play left. And the Bangers seal it again.
Nephthys clutched up for their 7th victory since becoming a tag team, and they are officially going to Spring Carnival.
And it is main event time here on Ignition. Now, we didn't mention it before, but Byron has already clarified there will be no world title match at Spring Carnival. Aaron also mentioned the world title and then we go after him, so I just figured this would be a good time to talk about this. Byron has said that the next world title defense will be world record, where he will defend against both Ari Nagadomi and Kaito Meiji. And potentially Ryan Richardson as well, should Ryan win against Death Panther at Spring Carnival. But of course, the match we're here for tonight, the Paradise versus Aaron, the Paradise's own Hermes Rhapsodies versus Aaron Payne, a match we have been waiting for since the Supercharged match. Not Supercharged, straightaway match, quite some time ago.
Yeah. They have been kept apart. Aaron is foaming at the mouth. And where the hell is Hermes?
Oh Normally he's walked out on this point. What the fuck?
Are you kidding me? Look, Aaron already is rolling his eyes. And I think so is everyone here in Providence. The Paradise has sent out Clint Cassidy instead. Are you kidding me?
You can even hear the booze already rolling.
Aaron arguing with the official right now, but the official seems to indicate that they were aware it was going to be Clint Cassidy the whole time.
I think maybe he got the news, or I'm not quite sure what's going on because our sheet still says Hermes. It hasn't updated yet. Aaron right in Clint's face. And oh, there's the update. It's now official. Aaron Payne versus Clint Cassidy is our main event.
All right, so I have to say, it has to be said. Kara, what the fuck?
Yeah, I'm
Are
not sure.
you protecting your son really after everything he's done? After all of this?
I'm not sure what is going on with this. Hera is not usually the type to make last-minute changes to her schedule. As you alluded to earlier, the match between Oxley and Taylor is a very rare occurrence to have a match booked on the show for that same night. So having the main event that we advertised changed last minute like this is very abnormal for Hera. And
it's a bad look considering who was involved in the match.
I was gonna say it's pretty damning when it was your own son who is freed of this match. The reports I'm getting currently are Hermes is not here tonight.
That is just crazy that Hera would allow everyone. I mean, every team within the company, the marketing team, social media team, everyone was being told all week long, Aaron Hermes on free TV. We couldn't believe it. It sounded too good to be true. And it was. And you know, Aaron's good mood we saw at the top of the show, that's gone.
Oh no, that's been 100% spoiled. I mean, first off, he's very sick of Clint Cassidy already, just from the short bit of history they had together before the Paradise.
Yep, that's some season 1 stuff right there.
And now, even since then, he had to deal with Clinton Death Row. Now he's had to deal with him on the tag side of the Paradise. Now here he is still dealing with him. And you can see how frustrated he is as he takes this straight to the outside and is immediately offensive, and I think already has a cut on his head, likely reopened from the match he had on Tuesday against Rick Taylor.
I was going to say, yeah, there was a lot of bleeding in that match and just simply not enough time for that to recover completely. That was a deep cut.
It was pretty rough. It's actually kind of surprising that he wrestled tonight in the first place after that match. It is Aaron Payne, so...
And he won that match with Hermes. I mean, he spent 6 months.
Give up.
And he still doesn't have it.
I'll be very intrigued to hear the explanation of this. Of course, this is our main event match tonight, so we're going to get no answers tonight, no matter what.
I'm sure we'll be told later on the exact reason. All I've been told at the moment is that Hermes is not in the building tonight, and so the match had to be changed. That is what it says, at least. Here are my little top. Oh, bat.
Oh.
Drops it. But we know how people love to set up things in corners and then haul them in later.
Yeah,
baseball bat is
huge
new.
punt. I'm surprised it was not him the light tube, but maybe he didn't want to copy Charlie scene.
Maybe not. He is also a Texas boy. I like their bat stuff. Almost goes onto it himself with that catapult. Aaron throws him to the outside. And you know Aaron is not going to hold back at all. He's moving a little slower than normal tonight. But again, that's likely the damage he suffered on Tuesday still affecting him. breaker from Clint Cassidy. And this is one man who I think has been squandering his opportunities and potential here in SOW quite a lot. Yes, he was a World Tag Team Champion. That is undeniable. He could have been a World Champion by now if he had just continued to be focused and calm instead of doing the shtick he's been doing, which is blaming everyone else for his mistakes.
Well, it's kind of ironic, really, because it was losing to Hermes that sent him down this path, and he's just not come off it. He just, you know, doubled down, tripled down this shitty personality change of his.
It's reminiscent, unfortunately, of the Cassidy curse. Every single member of the Cassidy family falls into this cycle. This combative, frustrated, and always blaming others. Cycle, no! 6-shooter! You gotta be kidding me! Is he gonna steal it? No!
I was so afraid that was a 3 count, and I think everyone in this building, their hearts all skipped a beat. We all thought that was it for the death game. Because, you know, you have to think, not only that match against Hurt Taylor has him weakened, but he was not prepared to face Clint Cassidy tonight. He's been preparing for Hermes, and Hermes and Clint have about as different styles as you can have in this business.
Oh, absolutely. The 6-shooter coming out as early as it did there. Aaron gets kicked down, dropped right on that bat. Clint stops from the top. Aaron gets up, and Clint with a sledgehammer picks him up. Oh my God! No, no, no! Magnum hammer! Come on, kick out! Yes!
Oh my God, he did it!
But
Aaron's
is
hurt, but his anger is keeping him in this.
He's
And this
in
match,
trouble, though. He needs to get in big offense like that roulette shock, or he's going to be falling soon at the hands of the 6-shooter. Another big move like that from Clint, and this match could be over. We're going back and forth. These big shots from Clint. Calls the finish, and usually that is followed up by the lariat, but fakes him out with just another straight shot to the dome.
Aaron's Aaron again, and again, these two men know each other pretty well. I keep thinking he's going for the DTS there, but he's just faking out. Clint Cassidy.
It's that Canadian rock star buster. There's the Steiner.
Clint keeps getting right back to his feet, forces Aaron down to the mat, wrenching the back.
Bulldog choke. Ugh. And got him up.
Oh no!
He was
Yeah,
going for
another
it.
counter.
I think he was going for it that time, but Clint got away. Oh, beautiful head scissors there. Clint always trying to protect that back area, the small of his back. He had a pretty rough spinal injury quite some time ago. Ever since then, his back has always troubled him. It's actually a big part of why his style is what it is today, so much safer.
Now both these men going back and forth here.
Aaron coming off the ropes, huge kick to the chin. Series of kicks to the gut. Picks Clint up, back to the ropes again. Clint blocks, sends Aaron to the ropes, and the exploder power slam, or the pop-up power slam, sorry. But Aaron gets the ropes right away to get out.
Oh, wait a minute!
Clint up, and game! Goes for the cover, 1, 2, no.
No. Now, can't be surprised it's going to take more than one of those to beat Clint Cassidy.
No, not anymore. That's why Aaron just immediately followed up with more offense. He knew. He wasn't shocked. Cassie picks Aaron back up, sends him into the ropes. But
Aaron
Aaron this
cuts it off.
time. Oh, the snap mare driver. Went for the cover, couldn't get the 3. And remember, one other note to this story is it was actually Clint Cassie whose offense was supposedly what injured Hermes way back before Hermes came back as Beelzebub of the Paradise.
That was likely very much a fake setup there from those two. But had Aaron ready to end Clint's career for a man that was manipulating him the whole time. Oh my God!
Stop! He's not done. Wheelbarrow suplex sends Aaron out of the ring. Aaron clutching at his neck. Clint has done some significant damage to Aaron. Aaron steps back into the ring. Clint avoids. I think he was looking to try and set up that end game again. Clint moved out of the way. And there's the lariat.
God. Not even Clint's too tired to go for the cover. And this, I guess, some impromptu main event match. There's that bulldog choke again.
Trying
Aaron straight to the mat.
to target the neck here now in this match. But Aaron
He hit it! I don't know where he hit it! He hit it on the neck, and can you believe it? The cover! One, two,
and it's
three!
enough!
Aaron Payne with a huge victory, and now you know he is going to be chasing down Hermes next week. Tara, you can't protect him forever from the death game.
And now, Aaron needed that victory at that moment because he was in very dire straits. You could see him holding his neck. He's going to have to take some time. I know he wants to get to Hermes, but if he goes at this pace, getting to Hermes isn't going to be the challenge. It's going to be staying healthy for a match with Hermes. But right now, that is all we have for this show. Thank you all for tuning in. As always, I'm your lead analyst, Devil D, here with my commentating partner.
I'm Pete Punk.
We're going to have to sign off. We'll see you on Ignition 92.